Sometimes your biggest failures become your greatest successes. My previous project, Zombie Arcade, wasn't working. It wasn't a game I wanted to play, and already the zombie horde mode has been overdone many times. I took some time away and reset. I moved on to something I wanted to play. Something my friends wanted to play. This is the story of Yes, Comrade. So what is Yes, Comrade? Well, you see, that's quite hard to explain, and at this time, even though the game is playable, I still don't really know. To generalise it, it's a multiplayer sandbox with physics and horror elements. But to really explain it, it's fucking nuts. I started off by designing how I was going to make this sandbox game on my own. I would be doing all the programming and art for the game, so it needs to be manageable and not too large. That's where the idea of a small island came to me, but I still needed a reason for the players to be on the island. I didn't want some sort of castaway background or gameplay, so instead I turned to one of the most famous jobs requiring players to be stuck on an island, a lighthouse. To gamify the system, I came up with some tie-in jobs, such as ship communication and directing, which made the players more like coast guards rather than lighthouse keepers. Around this time, I rewatched one of my favourite films, The Death of Stalin. By watching the film, the defining moment in the development of this game suddenly happened. Yes, Comrade. What better way to tie this whole game together than the fear of not only from the horrors on and off the island, but the fear of not listening to your fellow Coast Guard, lighthouse, keeper, person, friend. One of the key elements of the game is the physics system, which allows the player to annoy everyone else while also being incredibly janky and funny. Moving objects around the lighthouse and the island is an important part of the game. It allows players to decorate and create a living space worthy of the motherland, or to break horribly and launch yourself into the stratosphere. Another part of the game is the day and night cycle. It helps promote the work required by the players to communicate with the ships, but also means the horror aspects of the game during the nighttime have more time to shine, or not shine, because it's dark. As with all these features, it needed to be built for multiplayer, so I got to work very early on making sure everything was synchronized and I was able to connect locally. I started with a very basic tower design, which I was building floor by floor, which I used in a few of these clips from early on, but ultimately, after testing it with my brother, I did redesign how I was going to lay out the floors. As seen in my previous projects, I have been using the Miro board to keep track of what I was doing, including the important elements required for the Steam integration. Which leads me onto my next bit. How are people across the world going to connect together? Well, let me explain. In computer networking, we have something called Network Address Translation, NAT. This is used when communication needs to take place inside one network to the outside world. For someone in a different country, city, or just down the street to connect to my game session. To do this normally, you would have to do something called port forwarding, which tells your router to direct all traffic to a specific device when using a port. Now this isn't good for games like mine, where people just want to be able to play with their friends and connect in a lobby. I also don't want to be hosting the servers elsewhere, so instead I'm going to use a few Steam technologies to allow me to make this possible, Steam lobbies and Steam Relay. The next thing to do was start working on the actual scene and world where players connect into. So for the first time ever, I learned how to use the Unity terrain system. After an hour of working on my rough Minecraft old school RuneScape looking terrain, I had a functional map to walk on, and therefore it was time to test the Steam connection. I called up my brother and it was time to drop into the map for the first network test. Yeah, it's not ideal. As evident, there's some work to be done. Before the first official test with my friends Tristan and Haley, I needed to get the map a bit more functional and add actual mechanics, so I did a range of work from the sea to painting the map with actual textures. Next on my list was adding the ability to place objects in the world and move them, so I built a system to be able to place flags on just about every service. But at least it was functional. Another element I thought was missing was being able to tell the time in the world. So I created a digital clock which also makes a horrendous noise at 6 o'clock each morning. Death is funny in Yes, Comrade, so I added the ability to die in multiple ways, all with their own timer and patronising message. My list of jobs to do before the first alpha was growing each day. and I needed to get everything I've added since the network test tested and verified. So I called up my brother again, and it went just as well as you can expect.
Was better. That's it.
You keep going into the wall. Anyway, let's go to the full damage test zone.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can you get up the stairs?
No, because I can't jump because there's no... No, I'm actually stuck. One of the main bugs found in the test was deaths not being properly recorded by clients, so I went back into my test scene and built the Stairs of Doom to get it all sorted. While building vertical monstrosities, I also needed to get a functional ladder system working for the top of the lighthouse, so I programmed some buggy code which still to this day I need to rewrite. Again, at least it works. There still is a major part of the game missing, the ships, and the communication. Working on the ship spawning was simple at first, but later required some significant work to get everything synced across clients. The other element was the compass in the tower, which occasionally rotates due to, I don't know, magnets or something. Finally, there's a console which, after some prototyping, provided some functionality and allowed the testing of the system. This allowed me to connect to the ships and find out what the country the flag was. After implementing a way to earn money by communicating with the ships, it was time to add one of the last major features before the first official alpha test, the computer. The computer allows players to view emails coming through, delivering the frequencies for the day, receive info about any events or punishments for naughty comrades, but most importantly though, it allows the spending of money in the store. I wanted the computer to be a physical part of the world which doesn't require an overlay, so I pulled off some wizardry and somehow it kinda works. I can order items and the plane drops it all off in a crate. The plane is kind of stealthy at the moment though, as I haven't yet done the art for it. One of my favourite accidental implementations is the ability to hear the sound effects of other players interacting with the computer. So after a final test, it was time to do an art pass on the console, and the addition of a few extra items. It was now time to invite my friends for the first official alpha build on Steam. It was also Tristan's birthday, so I added some special items to the game to push us along, and it went just as planned. Holy shit, he actually fucking worked. Holy shit, yeah, now, okay, so the only debug art left is the player character, because it would have taken me too fucking long to do all the animations and the syncing, so I just left it to not bother. Okay,
so we all look like TikTok.
We all look, we all look the same, Comrade. A lot of stuff is unrefined, but the layout is tested. So, for example,
fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a ship.
Yeah, it's a ship. Yeah, which is also a box. It has a flag. Anyway, we'll come to that later.
Do I push the button?
You can do. It's E to put. Yeah, E to interact.
Welcome to your new home, away from home. The state of Outpost is probably not looking so good. Start by cleaning up a few things. You're not the first team assigned since the incident. I wish you the best luck with service to Motherland. Long live the great, glorious nation of Velaskovska. Comrade Yagatov.
Okay. Wait, did you go down the basement, or did Haley?
I think Haley did. All right, 169, 452.
We'll never know, Comrade.
I should have done something. Like, I should have just checked for usernames and just assigned a colour or some shit for something to make it slightly easier, but never mind. Which is empty. Apart from...
Have you ever found yourself wishing your comrade a happy birthday?
Perfect.
Did you just take all the crackers? Okay.
Oh, I can see the book, Comrade. Oh, it's green with dots.
Okay. Okay.
7.
Now, good. So we're facing the right direction. Obviously, that would rotate to, northwest instead of just up all the time. Now, what was the frequency that you looked up? Oh, fuck. Okay.
Hello?
Okay. So it's no longer in position 7. Okay.
What?
Yeah, the magnetic fields are kind of fucked. So now,
We're in east. Green cloud, southeast, which is 6. Comrade, it was there. There we go.
Comrade,
Try and put on full, Comrade.
Comrade, okay.
There we go. East must be top priority next.
Yes, okay, Comrade. Put it in Discord.
Ah, there we go, Comrade.
Oh, Comrade, I can't leave. Comrade, I can't leave because crouch, technically fake crouch. It's not really crouch.
There we go, Comrade. No one know about floor.
I hope so.
Don't
Comrade,
you dare
are you
take
sure
that
about
TV.
this?
Comrade, remember your birthday. You still want to celebrate birthday. No, Comrade. Comrade, please come round. Your cupcake. Okay. Fine, Comrade. I play music, you pick up cupcake, and you eat when you're ready. But I would wait for a bit of music first so we can celebrate it. Don't touch. Okay, ready?
With the first alpha a success, I could rest easy knowing the game was going in the right direction. Yes Comrade is now one of my full-time projects, which I hope to release in early access later this year. The Steam store page is now live and you can wishlist it as well. You can also follow development in between these monthly devlogs on the Yes Comrade Discord and my The Hirschfield Patreon. The links to these platforms are all in the description of the video. Thank you to everyone who's stuck out to the end. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to keep up to date on all things Yes Comrade.